Hello and welcome to another episode of the Leadership in Construction. Today, I'm going to talk to you about why caring is an essential skill to leadership. So, I want to start off by showing you a book that I think is an absolute fantastic book that I think every leader should read. It's by Joe Deiciano, and it's a busy leader's guide to caring leadership. It's a really great book. I've not long finished it. It's not overly that thick, so it's right on my street, and it's not overly full of technical and complicated concepts. It's down to earth. It's honest. It's got some great examples about caring. It relates to construction. There is a little person there who spanner in his hand or a hammer in the hand. That shows, this leadership, caring leadership, has a place in the construction industry. So I did a podcast with Joe not so long ago, and we talked about caring leadership. We talked about the book, why it's essential. If you're a busy leader, you can make your life so much easier when you invest your time in really understanding people and really caring about them. So it was definitely worth listening to the podcast, and it's definitely worth buying or reading Joe's book about caring. So just to give you some highlights and to give you sort of my understanding in terms of why I think caring is so important. First of all, when we need something doing, as a leader, if we need something doing, if we need, my old favourite, a trench being dug, or if we need some drawing to out the door at 4 o'clock, why on earth should we expect as leaders and managers that for people and employees to care about the deadline and to care about their work if we don't care about them and we don't appreciate where they're coming from? So, if you're not bothered about the fact that at 5 o'clock they've got to go and take their child to some sort of after school club, or or they've got to leave at 3 to go and collect their child from school or something like that. If you're not bothered about understanding their relationship with their parents, their siblings, and their spouses, then they're not really going to invest themselves too much into the tasks they've got to do. You've got to care about their personal growth, their career growth, and as soon as you start to really care and listen to their values and their perspectives, that's when they start to sort of see some value in doing some work. So if you're up against it, if your back's up against it because the clients put you in a position where you've got to get a deadline and there's too much work that needs to be done or something like that, or someone's let you down, if you've showed care and empathy to the people that you lead, then they'll show that in return. But it's got to come from you first. You've got to give first. You've got to start off by caring first, and then they will also care for you in the future when the chips are down and you need help, and you need to work together to get through it. If you just constantly crack the whip and deadline after deadline, and you've got to work late, I don't care, you've got after school club, I don't care, you've got after hours activities or whatever it is, we need to get this done, this is more important than anything in your life. When you really need people there to support you and to help you, they're not going to be there. So this is just very simple concept. It's just caring about people. Remember their first names, remember their spouses' names, remember the pets' names, the the children's names, the children's ages, remember what their hobbies are, what they do at weekends, what's important to them. And I invest, I like to say invest rather than spend, because I do believe it's investing. I invest a lot of my time in really getting to learn about people and listen to people about what interests them. So whether it be sports or food or something like that, or their children, or going to the gym, whatever it is, technology, just learning to understand really what motivates them, and then occasionally, I might see some posts on social media that will help them in some way, or they might find interesting, and I share that with them. Or I check in on them to see, how's your dog doing? You said your dog needs to go to the vet last week. Is your dog okay? It's just simple things like this. And when you remember these details, people really sort of understand, this person has, really taken the time to know who I am, what I'm about, and actually cares about my interests, and genuinely interested in knowing how I'm doing, how my well-being is, and that well-being of the things I care about, So, I think it's hugely important to do that. And I don't think any time during a working day or working week invested in having those conversations with people is wasted. It's invested. You're building up relationships, you're building up trust, you're building up a caring, trusting, tight-knit team, so that when you're really up against it, you'll band together and you do some great work together. So I'm going to leave you to go and read Joe's book and to listen to our podcast, because Joe, in his book, really says it really well. There's some great tips, great advice, great recommendations in there that you can really take away, better than I can probably articulate. But one thing I want you to take away from this podcast today is that if you want people that you lead to care about the project deadlines, the organizational goals, whatever they are, that might be important to you, you've got to then really invest your time in understanding what's important to them. Is it career progression? Is it the sports? Is it the personal life with children and dogs and pets and spouses and parents? If you understand and really listen and care about what they care about, then when it comes to something that you need help with and support with, they'll be there. It's like that Friends TV program that I'll be there for you. If you develop caring, trusting relationships with friends, I consider most people friends, then they will be there for you when you need it. So please check out the podcast, check out Joe's book. Just show it one more time, Busy Leader's Guide to Caring Leadership. Enjoy, give me some feedback, see what you think. But start really listening and really caring about the people you lead. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Check out the YouTube channel and Spotify, Apple, iTunes, Google Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts for more. And hope to speak to you and engage with you further. Thank you very much.